Hey everybody, welcome back to another alternate build video. My name is Bricoleur Bricks, and today I'm going to be showing you the MTT I made out of just 2 AAT sets. I'll be doing a brief overview showing you the ins and outs of the build, and after that the rest of the video will be the free instructions. Now if you would like the downloadable PDF version of the instructions, you can find that over on my Patreon. The lowest level is just $3, and the link for that will be in the description. I've actually been temporarily demonetized on YouTube due to some issues I'm having with Google, so any Patreon support I receive, I'm extremely extra grateful for, and I want to thank everybody who supported me so far, as well as everyone who's still watching and subscribing, of course. If you do need more AAT sets to make this build, you can also use my Amazon affiliate link to buy those. That's going to be in the description as well. That's another way to help support the channel. Now let's get to the fun part. Let me show you this awesome MTT I've made. Alright, let's start right at the front. The only weapons on this thing are these two cannons, 2 on each side. On the actual MTT, they'd be ball turrets, but we just went with a side-to-side swivel mount here. Completes the look of the front part. Moving up the side, there's these little tubular sections. These little slopes came in pretty handy for that. And I'll talk more about these front hatches later when we get to the interior. Now, one of my favorite parts is right here on the side, the Separatist logo. Came with the sticker sheet. There's 2 extra if you wanted to put them somewhere else on here, but I just decided to do 1 on either side. I think it looks really good. There is some more detailing and contouring down here, in the lower part. But moving on towards the back, we have these really nice, smooth, rounded pieces. On the actual MTT, these would be more jagged and angular, but I thought this was a nice use of these rounded parts that are the front of the AAT set. It does kind of look like a Volkswagen or something, like you'd have a wheel in here or something, but I don't really mind it. I think it looks pretty good. Then at the back, there's another hatch, which we'll get into later when I talk about the interior. And of course, how could I forget the driver section up here? Again, I'll show that more in detail when we talk about the interior. There is one special hidden feature on the outside that I'll show you really quick. These side sections right here, these actually fold down, and it's kind of like a command post sort of thing with 2 control panels. Then on the other side is actually some extra blaster storage. It just pops right out. These blasters are kind of hard to get in there, right? But as you can see, it does close all the way. You just have to fiddle with it a little bit. So that's it for the exterior. Let's crack this thing open and take a look at the inside. So here it is from a bit of a different angle. You can see these nice hatches we have here. Really like the way this turned out with the rounded part on the top. But let's open them up and see what's inside. The top one opens up all the way like that. And then we have this little bottom one. It's more of a ramp, I guess. Folds down. And inside we have a little rack full of 8 battle droids. And this just slides right out. Now there's a very particular way that these battle droids have to be on here in order to fit, because as you can see, this is a pretty cramped little section here. So in order to fit in there, these 8 battle droids have to be put on this rack in a very specific way. The first 3 on either side, they can hold blasters, but the blasters have to be reversed. So they're holding them like they're pointed up, as you can see right here. Other 3 on the other side right there. Now the back 2, they cannot hold blasters. If they're holding blasters, it just doesn't go all the way back. So I made a little blaster storage spot on the inside of this top hatch. I put some heavier blasters there, and maybe you can just think of these 2 droids at the end as specialty droids, heavy droids or sharpshooter droids, something like that. But yeah, the 2 in the back, they cannot hold any blaster or any weapon because it will interfere with how this whole rack fits in there. And also they have to have their heads completely folded down all the way in. Another thing to keep in mind, this part where this tab sticks out, that's always going to be the front, so you can't put it in the other way. It has to go in with this facing out, and that helps you grab it. And when you're taking them off, you just kind of have to pop them off with this little stud here. They're all studded in with the back stud there, and I would recommend going one here, this one, like that, as opposed to doing all on one side and switching, just because you can push on the other side to snap them on. It is a bit tricky. But yeah, this just slides right in. You have to make sure that there's enough space in here. If the legs are like in a little bit, it won't work. So you gotta make sure this channel is clear, and that just slides right on that little snot piece there. Bottom one up first, fold the top one down, and then you finish the bottom one like that. So that was the first 8 battle droids out of 16. Let me show you where the rest of them are. So up top here, this is the driver's compartment like I mentioned earlier. This actually pops off super easily. You just grab it by these gray tiles here. You just lift up, you can see there's a battle droid here. This is the main driver, and here he's got his display to pilot the vehicle with. He's actually pretty easy to get out as well. Grab this pink brick and he just pops right out. He's studded in on this little plate there. Easy enough to just pop him back on, slip him down, and you're good to go. He does have to have at least one of these curved elbow arms. If he has two of these straight arms, he's not going to fit in there because they're too wide. So keep that in mind when you're selecting your pilot droid. So that's the main driver. There's actually room for another kind of a driver in this panel here. Just grab these two little black slopes and this backplate pops off. And I actually just have another droid, not really powered down, but he's in deep focus mode to control the vehicle, assist the driver with navigating and tactical planning and stuff like that. So that's the other droid that's stored up here. Or you could maybe think of him as a backup droid in case this one runs out of juice or something. I don't know. I don't know how droids work. But yeah, this pops right back on. Push it down. And that's our little droid driving area. Now let me show you the one other place that there are droids stored in here. So we open the back here, have this nice little hatch, pops up, and we have a little tray sort of thing that slides out, and there's another 6 battle droids on there. These droids in the back, I have them alternating, so as you can see, its head's here, its head is over here, and so forth. They can't really go that way. There's not enough room. As far as blasters for them, they're not holding blasters obviously, but there is storage for 2 at the end here, and then if you can see, it's actually a small blaster storage area here on the inside of the door. And you have to make sure these handles are curved a little bit, otherwise they're gonna hit the sides of this when you try and close it. It's kind of a tight squeeze as always, but that should just close right up when you slide them in. Oh, and also these at the end have to be angled inward, because otherwise they run into the other droids that are at the front. It's a very Tetris-like fit in here. Everything's got to be kind of just perfect in order for both hatches to squeeze shut. But the finished product is 8 droids in the front, 2 in the top, and 6 in the back, giving us a grand total of 16 battle droids, which I believe is the amount that came with the MTT, the one that everybody loves, a huge one. Now, one more thing, this is actually a pretty sturdy build. When you're picking it up, I think the best place to grab it is right on the Separatist logo, just like that. These panels do come off, but they kind of come off sideways, so if you're, pushing them in, it's really not going to bother it much. But you can really honestly grab it back here if you want. Wouldn't grab it towards the front section, just with this whole assembly here at the angle is less sturdy. Honestly, I don't know what this exact scale is, but it's much smaller than a correctly scaled MTT. But it's a very cool color scheme. I love the dark blue and gray, and I think the look is pretty dang close to capturing how an MTT is supposed to look anyway. Alright, that about does it for this MTT. I hope you liked it. Make sure you let me know down in the comments what you think if you're planning to build it. Again, if you want the PDF instructions, those are available at my Patreon. The lowest level is just $3. To get the free version of the instructions, just keep watching this video. I'll have the free version of the instructions coming right up, so stick around. As always, your likes and subscriptions are greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you enjoy this build.